Hi guys, so today I'll be filming a baby must-have and I'll be showing you a few items that worked for my baby and us. The first item I'm going to talk about is the Graco swing. This thing was a lifesaver because my baby was not one to sleep in his crib from the very beginning. He would fuss for about 2-3 minutes and we couldn't take it anymore, especially since he was a newborn. We didn't want him crying for so long. And the only option we had was to put him in between us at night, and I could not sleep. Every night that he went in between us, I would just sit there and watch him because I was scared that one of us would just turn over and squish him. You know, you hear so many horror stories, you never want something like that to happen to you. So when he was around 4 weeks, I had enough of that and we went and bought the Graco swing. I'll make sure to add a clip of him in it or a picture. This thing was so good for him because as soon as we laid him in it, we would turn on the little swing. It would also vibrate and we barely used that option, but it had mobiles on top and it had the options to put sounds like lullabies, heartbeat, or birds chirping, or the ocean, and he loved it. He would fall asleep immediately. So that one was definitely good for us. Another item that has to do with sleep time is the sound machine, and we use this one, the Munchkin. Right now, I don't know if you can hear him, but he's about to go to nap and he's just playing around in his crib. I'm watching him in the monitor right now. Yep, he's playing, but he should be going to sleep soon. This sound machine is so cute because it has a projector and you'll see like little animals, monkeys, giraffes, or you could switch them up and you'll see stars, and he loves this thing. He loves the ocean sound and also the lullaby sounds, and it has a timer. You can put it for an hour, half an hour, 15 minutes, and here you just adjust the volume. The next item that I'm going to speak about is a Lovey. This one is by, let me see, Love Text Baby, and we bought it at Babies R Us. He just got this one recently because ever since he was a baby, like newborn, he had a duck and he would like chew on it. The duck was like this, and it was holding like a little blanket, and he would chew on that blanket part. And it was so gross. I would wash it a whole bunch of times, but it was already like, it was time to go. So we got this one, and he also loves to hug it when he goes to sleep, and he chews on this part, which I'm probably gonna have to wash it soon. But this is his favorite. To go to sleep, he just cuddles with it. He used to take the duck to the car all the time, but he doesn't sleep with anything like that in the car anymore. It's only for when he's in his crib that he needs like a little comfort. The next item that was definitely a must-have for us was a pacifier. Since he was in the hospital, he had a pacifier. I was completely against them because I was like, oh, it's gonna take us forever to get him off of them. But no, when he turned 8 months, I know the recommended is I think 5 or 6 months, but when he turned 8 months, he got a really bad cold, and I took advantage of that time, and I took all of the pacifiers and I threw them all out, and he didn't even flinch. At first it was hard because he was so used to them going to sleep, comfort, but I just threw all of them out and he didn't have another option, and neither did we. So he would just go to sleep on his own, and he got used to that. He would use the Dr. Brown's pacifiers. I don't have them with me like I said, but I'll try to insert a picture. Another baby must-have for us are teethers. This teether he loves because it has these little bristles, and I guess it like scratches and soothes his gums, but he loves this thing. He grabs it from here and then he just starts chewing on it. Another one that I have is this one. I just stick them in the fridge, or I put them on the cold water and I just give them to him. I either give them to him when he's going to sleep or when he's really, really fussy and his gums are bothering him. This is a complete lifesaver. An item that I suggest you invest in is a jumperoo. He had the Disney Finding Nemo jumperoo, and that thing was so cute to watch him in. He started going in it at I think 5 months. Again, I know some people that's too early, but they say that as soon as he has good neck control, he's good to go. And he was already trying to sit up at 3 months, and his neck was so strong from the day he was born. I remember I had him in the hospital. As soon as they gave them to me, he was lifting his head up to look at me, and I couldn't believe it. But yeah, the jumperoo was very good because I had to wash his bottles or wash some dishes, get a few things done, and I would just put him in there. He would be entertained, he would be jumping, and I knew that he was safe and not bored in a little bouncer. Although I did have a bouncer when he used it until he was about 2 months because he outgrew it quick, and he would just get all fussy and get bored from just sitting there watching me or just staring at the little mobiles. But bouncers are good in the very beginning when they're about 1 to 2 months old. Another item that was definitely essential for me was a baby carrier, because I had a stroller that I had to put in the seat and put all these things on just to leave the house, and it was such a hassle. And with a baby carrier in the summer, I just put that thing on, put him in, went to the park, put him back in, and just come back home. I didn't have to worry about strolling this thing in the heat or having him overheat in the stroller. But I had the Infantino Flip Advance. I think it has 4 different ways that you can carry your baby, but we only used that until he was about 8 months old because he started getting heavy and it just wasn't good on my back. But a baby carrier definitely worked for us. So in November, Noah became really sick with a cold, and I stumbled upon this. At first I was like, ew, you're gonna blow into this and then get all those boogers stuck in this tube. But then I looked into it and I see that it has a filter in here that prevents that from happening. I was like, what are these moms doing? But I think it's so much better than the bowl because you can see how much you're really taking out, and you can clean it. You just pop this out, take the filter out. You can take this thing out too. You wash the entire thing and you just let it dry. With the bulb, you don't know what you're doing. You suck in the boogies and then you squeeze them out, and it's not like you can really wash it because if you put water in there, then it's gonna get all moldy. And I've seen pictures of these bulbs being cut open and it's just so gross. So I invested in this, and with this we used the Little Remedies Sterile Saline Mist. I would spray this, wait a few minutes, and then I would go in with this, and he would be good for maybe a few hours, because they say it's not good to use this constantly because you can irritate their nose, and it's better for everything to just leak out instead of constantly going in. But this was very important, especially because so in November he had a cold, and then on Christmas he developed croup. I think it's called croup. But they say that it's transmitted from someone who may have the flu, but I'm not sure. But since you take kids out and people sneeze, they cough, you touch things, they touch things, it's like inevitable sometimes, even though I really try. And in this month I rarely took him out because it's been like in the negatives, but he got really sick, and he was sick for 2 weeks. After in November having a cold, at the end of December he got sick for 2 entire weeks again, and I felt so bad. And this thing was definitely important because on those nights when he couldn't sleep, we did this, used the saline drops. And another thing that I'm gonna suggest if your baby gets sick is a vaporizer. We had the Vicks vaporizer, and that thing was so good at night because I can tell that he was able to sleep comfortably. And during the day I would use a humidifier to make sure that the air was moist and his nose wasn't dry all day. So those things were very important when my baby was sick. Another item I would recommend is a bottle tray or a rack. We use this one since I do feed him with bottles. It's just so easy because you don't get his things lost with ours. I use the Dr. Brown bottles, and those have so many pieces that I would constantly lose them. So I would just wash the bottles, put all of the pieces on here, and he had his own area, and I knew where everything was already for his next bottles, and it wasn't so complicated. And I find it so cute, and I know that they have like these little sticks that you put, so you could put the pacifiers or the nipples, and it's convenient. It's very convenient for us. An item that was definitely important for us to get from the very beginning and we didn't, I think, is a baby monitor. I don't know if you see him right now. He's sitting there right now playing around instead of sleeping. But we live in an apartment and it's pretty small. He sleeps in our room. We co-sleep. He has his own crib. But at night, when we would put him there in his crib, we would come out and stay in the living room watching movies or something. And we would constantly have to open the door, check on him. And then we would wake him up because, of course, he would get rattled or hear some noise. And we were constantly waking him up instead of having a monitor with us and just checking on it to see if he was okay. We got this about 2 months ago, I think. And it's definitely worked because we just sit here, we watch him. We see if he's standing, I like to go in and put him back down because I don't want him to like try to jump out because he pulls himself very hard and I feel like one of these days he's gonna try to lift his legs and get out of there. But with this, it's just so much easier. Look at him. This one is a Summer Infant Sure Sight 2.0, I believe. And it just comes with this and the little camera that's in his crib, and you can, I think, hook up about 4 cameras, but since we have a small apartment, we don't need all of that. Another item I would recommend for your babies are books. This one is called The Animal Kisses by Barney Salzberg, and this one is Touch and Feel, a touch and feel book. And like in the first page, you see, do you like scratchy cat kisses? And then it'll have like almost like a sandpaper feel to it. And it has dogs and bears and all these different animals, and it's colorful. Look at all these colors. And babies love that. They love those touch feel books and they love to see all these bright colors. So he likes this one, and another one of his favorites are the little puppets. He has the 5 little pigs and Old MacDonald had a farm, so I'll just sit there and I'll sing to him and he touches the little puppets, the finger puppets. And with the finger puppets, it also has like a Velcro book that he absolutely loves. So books are very important, and I've been reading to him since he was a newborn. Every night I read a nighttime story, and throughout the day I'll read maybe like 4 or 5 books. The last item I'm going to recommend, and this one should have been the first, is a stroller. I have the Even Flow Modular Pivot, I think it's called, and it definitely didn't work for us, and that was my fault because I didn't read reviews and I didn't do enough research. I didn't go to the store to like test them out. I just saw it once and I was like, oh, this is cute, let me put it in the registry, and we ended up getting it for a baby shower gift. I can be crossing the street with the baby, and in the middle of the street the wheels will lock, and I can't have that happening. Like, nobody can have that happening. And it's nobody's fault but mine because we got that as a gift, like I said, at the baby shower. And we got home, we opened it, and I threw the box out, the warranty, I threw everything out. So there was no way of me exchanging it or proving that we got it recently. So that's definitely my fault. My stroller also comes with different settings, like you can use a car seat for the infant carrier, or you can switch it out with the bassinet. And my issue with that is that when I had the car seat carrier and I would try to click it onto the stroller, it wouldn't click. It would get stuck, and I'd be outside in the cold with a baby trying to get this thing done 5-10 minutes. And you know what, sometimes I would just give up and I would just grab the car seat and put him in the shopping cart. Like if I was out at a store, I would put it in the shopping cart and just leave my stroller. So what's the point of having the stroller if you're not even gonna use it? Right now he's 10 months and I'm gonna switch it out to the Upper Baby stroller. I'm not sure which one exactly. I'm still doing my research, but I can't take it anymore with that stroller. I didn't want to get rid of it because it was a gift, and I felt bad because I made that choice, but I can't take it anymore. I can't deal with the wheels locking or with the bassinet getting stuck. So I recommend you guys get a good stroller. These are some of my baby must-haves, and if you guys have any recommendations for babies, since my baby's 10 months old, you can just comment down below and let me know some items that you love for your baby, and I'll look into them too. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.